Welcome. You have arrived at a video that has the potential to fundamentally change your life. If you have ever found yourself in the embarrassing situation of forgetting a person's name mere seconds after being introduced, if you have spent endless hours studying only to find your mind completely blank during the exam, or if you frequently walk into a room and suddenly wonder, "Why am I here?" Then listen closely. If your mind feels heavy, overloaded with data, and unable to hold on to what truly counts, this is not just a video you should watch. This is the video you need. Right now, you are about to discover the precise blueprint to unlock your brain's potential, upgrade your memory capacity, and retain any information you desire permanently. We are not going to discuss 5 cheap tricks to simply boost your memory. We are going to implement a deep, robust system that will transform the very operating system of your brain, starting this very moment. And there is a massive bonus. This content is exceptionally beneficial for your English skills. As you listen, you will absorb real, articulate, and powerful sentence structures, naturally improving your comprehension and expanding your vocabulary. So, whether your goal is to ace your exams, remember every book you read, speak English with eloquence, or train your mind to function like a genius, stay with me until the very end. Because if you genuinely apply the steps I am about to reveal, you will never again forget what matters. You will finally experience what it feels like to trust your own mind. Let us begin. Step 1. The mechanics of memory. Step 1 is about understanding the machine. To fix the problem, you must know why you forget. Most people walk around believing a lie. They say, "I am just not smart," or "My brain is weak," or "I am terrible at memorizing." Let me tell you the truth. You do not have a weak memory. You simply have an untrained one. The first major error is that we were never taught how memory functions. Let me break it down in the simplest, most effective way possible. Think of your brain as a massive library. Every time you learn a new fact, a name, a date, a concept, it is like placing a new book on a shelf. However, if you toss that book onto a pile without looking, if you do not label it, and if you never go back to organize it, that book gets lost in the chaos. That is exactly what is happening inside your head. Information enters, but it does not stay because your brain fails to move it from short-term memory into long-term memory. Here's the distinction. Short-term memory is like a whiteboard. You write something on it, but if you do not save it, it gets wiped clean. Long-term memory is like a permanent, hardbound notebook. Once it is written there, it remains forever. The problem is that most people leave everything on the whiteboard. They hear a name, but never repeat it. They read a page, but feel no emotion. They cram for a test, but never review. Consequently, the information never reaches the permanent notebook. Consider this scenario. You are at a social gathering. You meet a stranger. He says, "Hi, I am Jason." You smile, shake his hand, chat for a moment, and walk away. 5 minutes later, a friend asks, "What was that guy's name?" Your mind goes completely blank. Why? Because your brain heard the sound, but never processed the data. It wasn't repeated. It wasn't connected to an emotion. It wasn't visualized. So, it evaporated. Now, imagine doing it differently. You meet him again. He says, "I'm Jason." Immediately, your brain thinks, Jason, like Jason Statham, the action star. You notice he even looks a little tough like him. You smile and say out loud, "Great to meet you, Jason." Later, you think of it again. Your brain has now focused, connected, and repeated. You have built a path to that information. Memory is not a gift. It is a skill. If you keep dumping information into your mind without a system to save it, you will always feel lost. But if you apply this, you will take back control. Your memory isn't broken. Your system is. Today, we build a new one. Step 2. The power of attention, step 2. Pay absolute attention, because you cannot recall what you never truly noticed. Here is a brutal reality check. You do not have a memory problem. You have an attention problem. You cannot remember what you did not see clearly. You cannot recall what you never focused on. If you do not fix this, none of the other steps will matter. Every single day, your brain is bombarded with millions of data points, sounds, colors, motion, words, faces, texts, noises. If your brain tried to hold on to all of it, you would lose your mind. So, it filters. It chooses what to keep based on one thing: your attention. If you focus, it sticks. If you don't, it vanishes as if it never existed. Attention is the gatekeeper. Imagine you step out of a taxi. You are exhausted, checking emails, thinking about dinner. You pay the driver and walk away, leaving your bag on the seat. 5 minutes later, panic sets in. My bag, my passport, my laptop. You try desperately to visualize the license plate, but your brain offers nothing. Why? Because you never actually looked at the car. You saw it, but you didn't observe it. You heard the driver, but you didn't listen. Now, imagine if you had paused for 1 single second. You looked at the plate, saw the driver's face, and said to yourself, "White Toyota, plate number 8473. That 1 second of laser focus would have saved you. We do this all the time. You sit in a lecture, physically present but mentally absent. You read a book while thinking about a song. Later you say, "I forgot." No, you never encoded it. The world is designed to steal your focus. Social media and multitasking train your brain to be distracted. But you cannot save a file you never opened. So stop blaming your memory and start fixing your focus. From now on, when you need to remember, stop. Pause. Look. Listen. Say it. Give it 5 seconds of pure attention. Those 5 seconds are the difference between a memory that lasts a lifetime and one that is gone in an instant. Attention is the door. Open it. Step 3. Visualizing words, step 3. Visualizing transform words into pictures. Because your brain thinks in images, not text. Now that you are paying attention, here's the secret sauce. Your brain finds words boring. It loves pictures. If I say the word elephant, Do you see the letters ELEPHANT? No. You see a large gray creature with a trunk and big ears. That is your brain's native language. To remember a name, a fact, or a number, you must convert it into a mental image. Words are abstract. Images are alive. They have color, shape, and feeling. For example, you meet a woman named Lily. If you just think of the name, you will forget it. But if you imagine her hair filled with white lily flowers, or her holding a massive bouquet, the name is now a picture. Your brain says, "Interesting, I'll keep that." The stranger, funnier, or more exaggerated the image, the better. Want to remember the word volcano? Don't just think of a mountain. Imagine a giant birthday cake exploding with hot chocolate lava. Hear the boom. Smell the chocolate. It sounds ridiculous, but that is why it works. Memory loves novelty. Let's try a list. Milk, eggs, book, shoes, cat. Don't repeat it like a robot. Make a movie. A giant carton of milk is reading a book, sitting inside a pair of shoes, while a cat wearing sunglasses watches as eggs rain down from the sky. Now you are visualizing. Now you are engaged. You will not forget this because your brain locks onto stories and images, not bullet points. Memory champions, actors, and polyglots use this. Don't just read information. See it. Feel it. Animate it. Turn your mind into a gallery of unforgettable images. Step 4. The story method. Step 4. Utilize the story method because we are wired for narrative. Your brain hates dry data. It loves drama, characters, and connection. If you want to remember anything, wrap it in a story. Suppose someone gives you a random list to memorize. Apple, horse, jacket, candle, ice cream, cloud, socks, chair, tree, monkey. If you try to memorize that by force, you will fail within minutes. The items are disconnected. But let's use the story method. Imagine a giant apple falls from the sky and hits a horse on the head. The horse panics, runs into a store, and steals a stylish jacket. He uses a candle to see in the dark pocket, but accidentally melts an ice cream cone. The ice cream evaporates into a cloud that starts raining socks. One heavy sock hits a chair, which instantly grows into a massive tree, and swinging from that tree is a laughing monkey giving you a thumbs up. Pause. Close your eyes. Replay that movie. You will remember every item in perfect order. Why? Because the list is now a narrative. One thing leads to the next. It has movement and emotion. This is how you learn fairy tales as a child, and why you forget math formulas. Stories stick. Use this for to-do lists, speeches, or foreign vocabulary. The crazier the story, the stronger the memory. Give yourself permission to be creative and weird. Logic is forgettable. Surprise is permanent. Step 5. Spaced repetition. Step 5. Master spaced repetition. Because learning once is not learning at all. Here is a painful truth about school. Cramming is a lie. Memorizing something once does not mean you know it. Your brain needs time and repetition to carve the data into stone. Think of memory like writing a message in the sand at the beach. You write it clearly today, but the waves and wind wash it away by tomorrow. This is the forgetting curve. To beat it, you must review. Learn it once. Review it after 1 hour. Review it again after 1 day. Then 2 days. Then a week. Then 2 weeks. Then a week. Then 2 weeks. Each time you revisit the information, your brain realizes, this keeps coming up. It must be vital, and moves it deeper into long-term storage. Let's say you learn the word serendipity. You love the meaning, finding something good without looking for it. But if you never use it again, it dies. Instead, try spaced repetition. Day 1, learn it. An hour later, write a sentence. I found this book by serendipity. That night, say it aloud. Day 2, use it in a chat. Day 4, write a story with it. Day 7, teach it to a friend. Now, that word is yours forever. You built a relationship with it. You can use apps like Anki or Quizlet, or just a simple paper system. The tool doesn't matter. The timing does. No review equals no memory. Spaced repetition is the difference between throwing water on a plant once and watering it until it grows deep roots. Step 6. Emotional connection. Step 6. Forge an emotional connection, because feelings make memories stick. The stronger the emotion, the deeper the imprint. You probably don't remember what you wore last Tuesday, but you remember the moment your heart was broken, or when you felt humiliated, or when you were incredibly proud. Why? Because the brain prioritizes feelings. The amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, tells the memory center, this is intense. Save it forever. If you want to remember a dry fact, attach a feeling to it. Take history. April 15th, 1912. The Titanic sank. Boring. Now, visualize the panic. 500 people in freezing water. Musicians playing their final song as the ship goes down. Mothers saying goodbye to sons. It is no longer a date. It is a tragedy. It is a story of human loss and bravery. Now, you will never forget it. Even with vocabulary. Take the word abandon. Don't just learn the definition. Feel the sadness of being left behind, connected to a memory of your own. Even for math, fake the emotion if you have to. Area of a triangle is half base times height. Imagine a pizza. You are starving, but you only get half a slice. Feel the disappointment. That silly emotion makes the abstract formula real. If you feel it, you keep it. Step 7. The teaching technique. Step 7. Teach what you learn. Teaching is remembering twice. This is a secret used by top performers. As soon as you learn something, teach it. Immediately. When you teach, you shift from being a passive student to an active master. To teach, you must recall the information, organize it, and express it in your own words. This forces your brain to reconstruct the knowledge, cementing it in place. For example, you learn the word procrastinate. Instead of just reading the definition, turn to a friend or even talk to yourself. Say, "Do you know what procrastinate means?" It's when we delay things we need to do, like homework or dishes. I am always procrastinating on my laundry. Boom. You just locked that memory in. You don't need a classroom. Explain it to a friend. Record a voice note. Write a post. Or speak to the mirror. Just activate the teacher mode. Studies show that students who expect to teach the material score significantly higher. It is free, fast, and incredibly powerful. Step 8. The Mind Palace. Step 8. Construct a mind palace. Your brain remembers locations better than facts. This is a legendary technique used by ancient Greeks and modern memory athletes to memorize decks of cards or long speeches. Your brain is a spatial navigation machine. You remember the layout of your childhood home perfectly. The Mind Palace hacks this ability. You take the information you want to learn and place it inside a location you know well. Let's say you want to memorize the planets in order. Visualize your house. Walk through the front door. In the living room, there is a frying pan on fire, hot like mercury. In the kitchen, a bottle of perfume is spraying pink mist. That's Venus, goddess of beauty. In the bathtub, a spinning globe. That is Earth. On your bed, red dust covers the sheets. Mars. On the balcony, a giant balloon is bouncing. Jupiter. On the stairs, a hula hoop ring blocks your way. Saturn. On the roof, an ice cube sits on a chair. Uranus. At the gate, the ocean waves are crashing. Neptune. Now, simply walk through your house in your mind. The sequence is perfect. You anchored new data to an old map. Use this for lists, speeches, or daily tasks. It gives your memory a physical structure. Step 9. Nighttime review. Step 9. Review before sleep. The night is when your brain decides what to keep. Science proves that the last 10 minutes before you sleep are crucial. When you drift off, your brain goes to work cleaning and organizing. It acts like a librarian sorting through the day's intake. If you spend the last 10 minutes scrolling through mindless videos, your brain thinks, "This random content must be important," and processes that. Meanwhile, the English words you studied earlier get tossed in the trash. Change your routine. Take 5 minutes before bed. Turn off the phone. Sit quietly. Review the key things you learned that day. Visualize them. Speak them softly. Then, go to sleep. You have just sent a priority signal to your brain. Save this. You will wake up with that knowledge consolidated. It improves memory, sleep quality, and focus. Step 10. The power of writing. Step 10. Write it down. Writing is the brain's save button. We forget what we read and hear, but we rarely forget what we write. Writing slows down your thinking. It creates a physical link between your hand and your mind. When you type, it is automatic. When you write by hand, you feel the letters. You are active. If you learn the word resilience, don't just read it. Grab a pen. Write. Resilience. The ability to bounce back. Then write a sentence that matters to you. I want to be resilient when life gets hard. This takes 60 seconds, but it transforms a fleeting thought into a permanent record. Keep a notebook. Write down quotes, words, and ideas. One notebook filled with handwritten wisdom is worth more than 100 videos watched passively. Step 11. Active recall. Step 11. Use active recall. Testing yourself builds unshakable strength. Most people study by looking at the answer over and over, thinking they know it. That is an illusion. The real test is, can you remember it when the book is closed? Active recall means closing the source and asking your brain, what did I just learn? Struggle to pull the answer out. That struggle is where the growth happens. It is like lifting weights. Reading is watching someone else lift. Recalling is doing the heavy lifting yourself. Read a sentence. Cover it. Say it in your own words. If you forget, check and try again. Do this daily. Don't just reread. Retrieve. It feels harder, but that is because it is actually working. Step 12. Brain hygiene. Step 12. Protect your mind from overload. A cluttered brain cannot remember. We need to address a silent killer of memory. Information overload. Your brain is not designed to hold everything. It is designed to hold what matters. If you wake up and immediately scroll through social media, news, and notifications, you are filling your mental workspace with junk. By 9 a.m., you are exhausted. When you try to remember a simple grocery list later, you fail. Not because you are stupid, but because your brain is overflowing with useless noise. Treat your mind like a garden, not a dumpster. If you let weeds grow, they kill the flowers. You must set boundaries. Start your day with silence, not screens. Unfollow useless accounts. Practice digital fasting. Ask yourself, does this information deserve a place in my mind? Protect your focus. You cannot have clarity if you are drowning in distraction. Be ruthless about what you allow in. Conclusion: you now possess the 12 proven steps to remember anything for life. These are not just tips. They are a lifestyle. But remember, knowledge without action is useless. You must live these steps. Write what you learn. Teach it. Visualize it. Review it before bed. Protect your peace. If you do this, you won't just be someone with a good memory. You will be someone who commands their own mind. This journey will improve your English, your confidence, and your entire life. Your mind is ready. Now, go make it unforgettable.